been a long time coming for this man. He has worked so hard to be in the winner's circle.
What a moment that was for Dominic Thiem, the first major champion on the men's side, born in the 1990s. Guess what? Dominic Thiem joining us now on TC Live. Great to see you, Dominic. Of course, you're out for the U.S. Open this year. Can't defend your title. Had the wrist injury, out for the rest of this year. But we're so happy that you're with us today and for the rest of the show here on TC Live. How tough is it for you, obviously not being in New York, not being able to defend that title?
Very tough. I mean, it's only the second major I miss after Wimbledon. Besides that, since Australia 2014, I was able to play every single major, and then Wimbledon was really short after the injury. And for the US Open, I still had a little bit of hope, and especially as the defending champion and with a full crowd again this year, I badly wanted to come back there, but simply couldn't make it, and now I'm here watching it from far away, but well, nothing to do about it.
Well, last time we saw you play, it was in Mallorca. We just wanted to know, what is the update on your wrist? How are you feeling? Any hope for a comeback, in how soon? Is it early next season?
Yeah, I hope that it's start of next season. That's my goal, to be back as soon as 2022 starts. But I have still the splint on my wrist for like 4 more weeks. And after those 4 weeks, I will get an update, and then I will know more. But the goal now is to be back in hopefully Australia 22.
Dominic, last year after you won the title, the day after, you said, I'm having a hard time processing it. It's been such a crazy 2 weeks, no fans, a crazy final match. You'll have to ask me later how to process it. So now it's a year later. How do you reflect on your title 12 months down the road? What do you remember about it, and what stayed with you?
Well, it's been crazy 2 or even more, crazy 4 weeks. I mean, we all arrived like 2 weeks before the tournament started. And it was obviously the first tournament back after the lockdown, the first big tournament back. So I think, I mean, for me and probably for all the other players, it was quite a big change. It was the first tournament in the bubble as well, without fans. So that was a really huge difference. But I got used to it pretty fast, thanks God. And it was very unique. I mean, a major tournament, a US Open, I never experienced before. Moving around the site freely without any fans, which was pretty sad. Going into the Arthur Ashe Stadium for the night session when there is absolutely nobody around. So that was very unique. And the finals was just crazy. I mean, I gave it out all there. I mean, I left all the energy I had in this match, because I saw it was maybe a chance of my lifetime, and luckily I used it at the end.
First player in the open air to come from 2 sets down to win at the U.S. Open. That was absolutely incredible. Dominic Thiem, the defending U.S. Open champion, will miss this year, unfortunately, with a wrist injury, but joining us on TC Live today and for the rest of the show. Dominic, obviously, before the wrist injury occurred, how would you characterize your season this year?
Pretty bad, unfortunately. I was far away from playing my best tennis. Australia was still fine playing wise, and then I had some troubles with all the bubbles, and the last season was obviously really hard physically and mentally, and I felt low energy and was not in my best shape, and so I took some time off after Australia. Didn't practice for a while, and this kind of got to me in the clay court season. I mean, I was missing hours on the court, missing matches against the top players, and that's why also the clay court season was not that great. I mean, especially at the French Open, I was playing bad, was moving bad physically, probably in the worst shape since quite a while. And after that, I started to practice really well again, and the motivation was there 100%. And exactly when I started to play well, I mean, in Mallorca, I was 5-2 up in the first set in my first match on the grass courts. And exactly in that moment, the injury happened. But in general, it's a year to forget, and now it's time to rest and to be really pumped and to work hard for 22.
Well, going into this year's U.S. Open, the big talk is about Novak Djokovic and trying to win the calendar year Grand Slam. Just wanted to get your thoughts on Novak and this year's U.S. Open, and just what kind of pressure do you feel like he's under going for this unprecedented calendar year slam?
Wow, I mean, it's a chance of the century probably for him. A chance which maybe will never come back again. And I think the last time it happened was 1969, if I'm not wrong. So he's under so much pressure, but I mean, he showed it so many times before that if there is a big chance, he barely misses it. So he's definitely the biggest favorite on the title. But I guess behind him there are three players, Zverev, Tsitsipas and Medvedev, who are playing amazing, who are on fire, especially Sasha with the Olympic gold medal, with the title in Cincinnati. And they can beat him at any given day, I guess. But still, he's one level higher than the rest of us, or now the rest of them. So if I would have to bet, I'd bet on him.
You're a TV guy today, Dominic. But part of that means making predictions and going out on a limb. So take those three players you just mentioned, Tsitsipas, Medvedev, and the player you beat last year, Zverev. Which one of those three is going to win this title, if not Novak? Pick one.
Then I'd pick Medvedev, because he has a little advantage. He played 2 slam finals, and in that I can speak for myself. Each slam final is, even if you lose it, it's very hard, but it's still such a big experience and such an important experience. It's going to help you in the next one. And that's why I think he has, I mean, the other two, Stefanos and Sasha, they played 1 slam final, so that's a little advantage Daniil has.
All right. Well done. First prediction on TV is going Daniil Medvedev. Best chance to stop the Grand Slam for Novak Djokovic. We will have much more from Dominic Thiem. The hot takes will keep coming here on TC Live as Dom will join us for the rest of the show. TC Live, of course, your U.S. Open pregame show for the next 2 weeks, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on Tennis Channel. ESPN's live match coverage begins at noon today, and Tennis Channel will have encore coverage of the best matches every single night. There he is, Dominic Thiem, still your reigning U.S. Open men's champion. We'll be right back.
In the Romo household,